Yo, what's going on YouTube? Real quick before we go to bed, we are going to be live streaming a recap of the Wednesday, January 22nd games. And I realized I won't be here over the weekend, so I will try to make a whole compilation video, a stream on like Sunday night. I might even do a video like during the day, just going over like the Friday, Saturday games, because those are mostly going to be the games I miss. But let's talk about tonight. We had some games, my Celtics just got done with a ununderstandably close game against the Clippers. You have the Timberwolves Mavericks, the Cavs played the Rockets, Jazz Thunder, and then Warriors Kings. So those are some games we're going to talk about. Obviously, I would put in the thumbnail that Shea put up 54, it was. But this is fucking embarrassing. I have to bring this up. We're just going to get it out of the way. This is actually the game that just concluded. We have the Celtics and the Clippers. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum lead the Celtics past the Clippers by 4 in overtime with both teams missing starters. Now, obviously, the Clippers literally missed their whole fucking team. I don't know why we're comparing the two. But yeah, I mean, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum had great scoring nights. They led the way. And, they rally. They win in overtime. Again, key players were missing, so if you bought tickets for this game, you were probably kind of disappointed there. But yeah, we seal the win in overtime. We break the press. Again, this game shouldn't have even went to overtime. I don't even know why it did. Obviously Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's chemistry really led us ahead for this game. Pretty fun game, though, nonetheless. There were some awesome moments, some awesome performances from players that you wouldn't expect. Amir Coffey was hitting some tough shots. Jaden Springer, for like his lack of involvement with the organization throughout the year, hit a huge three-pointer in overtime. That was awesome. But you look at the Celtics, 24 points for Jason Tatum. Derek White added 20. He shot 33% from three. You get 25 points for Jaylen Brown, who made both of his threes tonight. That's a surprise. You look at the Clippers, 29 points for Derek Jones Jr., one of the better games I've seen from him in a while. He shot 60%. 24 points for Amir Coffey, who shot 50% from three, 60% overall. 26 points for KPJ, who shot 33% from three. And one thing, I mean, these guys shot efficiently. No starters were shooting 52.2% from the field. Maybe say fuck it and rebuild the franchise and just ditch Kawhi in them? I don't know. Maybe they fucking should. Obviously, like Mo Bamba was like an offensive liability as always. They have Jordan Miller. They have Bones Highland coming off the bench that can be solid scoring options without those starters. But Mo Bamba being the game. I think Ivica Zubac, like underratedly so, was the more underrated player that they missed tonight, and that just shows how valuable he is at the big man position. But we're going to move on, though, from that game. Again, embarrassing. Timberwolves Mavericks, though. Jaden Daniels goes for a career-high 27 points. I'm actually surprised that's his career high. I feel like he had a couple really good games like last year, but the Wolves outlast the Mavs. They win by a point. This is one of the better games we've seen from Jaden McDaniels in a pretty early NBA career. He hit the clinching free throw with 3 seconds to play, and obviously Anthony Edwards is going to be consistent as a scorer and have a solid night. Pretty good night there as well. Obviously the Mavs, once again, missing a lot of players, and they're trying to kind of hang in the balance there. They only have a couple games to spare before they're like, hey, we need you to fucking come back, Luka. Come on, man. But, Rudy Gobert being a really good at the rim finisher. Kyrie Irving was making it tough. He's going to be clutch. He's going to hit some big-time shots to make it difficult. But, Anthony Edwards was getting to the rack. Mike Conley hit a couple big shots, so that's huge. He hasn't been involved offensively as much. Maxi Kleber was being a perimeter guy for the Mavs and hitting threes every now and then, hitting shots. But you look at the Timberwolves, 27 points for Jaden McDaniels. That's a huge game. You get 21 points out of Anthony Edwards. Really not much else there. I mean, that's really all they needed, just kind of the bare minimum to win this game. You look at the Mavs, you get a 30-point performance for P.J. Washington. Great game for him. 14 points and 12 rebounds for Daniel Gafford, who's been playing pretty incredible for this franchise recently. 36 points for Kyrie. He played great. Now, obviously, they have guys like Prosper in the starting lineup, so how do you really expect them to win? Now, they have Kessler Edwards, Maxi Kleber, and Spencer Dinwiddie coming off the bench. I'm not even sure how Prosper starts over guys like that, but what the fuck ever. I don't know why he's starting. It made no sense at all. And obviously the Mavs are also missing Klay Thompson, but that wasn't really a huge deal to me. Just kind of moving on. I didn't really want to talk about that game too much because, kind of whatever. Let's get into the Cavs and Rockets, two absolute titans in the NBA, two amazing teams in this league. Huge win for the Rockets, really just a statement win to kind of put them on notice throughout the league. But Alperen Sengun makes late free throws, and Darius Garland misses two. The Rockets outlast the Cavs. They win by a point. Yeah, Alperen Şengün made 2 free throws with 4.5 seconds left, and Darius Garland missed 2 of 3 free throws after that to allow the Houston Rockets to get the win. Obviously, very costly down the stretch, and that's something I'm going to get concerned about when we're talking about the Cavs and when we're talking about playoff basketball. Are they going to be able to finish out games? Are they going to be clutch? I know they've won a lot of games this year, but the playoffs are a completely different environment. So again, that kind of just raises a question. Yeah. To their detriment, just missing foul shots. Cam Whitmore was getting to the rim again. Just a very young, energetic team, really fun team to watch. This was made for a fun game as well. Fred VanVleet was hitting some threes. Yeah, Cam Whitmore again, just being an athletic guy, being a factor for this team. He played pretty well off the bench. You look at the Cavs, you get 17 points, 13 rebounds for Jared Allen. You get 26 points for Darius Garland, who shot 50% from three. And yeah, Donovan Mitchell didn't play great, but really I'd blame this on a guy like Max Strus. Definitely an off game, wasn't involved offensively as much. You have your Georges Niangs and your Ty Jeromes and your Sam Merrills coming off the bench that can kind of cover up for that and give you some decent scoring, but again, you kind of expect a little bit more out of Max Strus. Damn near should be a double-digit scorer, which to an extent this season, kind of. I don't really know. He was great on the Heat. I don't know. I guess it's just his de-elevation of a role on this team. Amen Thompson for the Houston Rockets continuing to play great minutes for this team. 16 points, 16 rebounds, 33% three-point shooting. Alperen Şengün at 18 points, 11 rebounds. You get a 26-point performance for Fred VanVleet, so that was huge. And yeah, the Rockets seized the day. They get the win. Shout out to them. That's an awesome win to get. As we are going to get into the final two games of the night I want to talk about, let's first start with the Jazz and the Thunder, because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scores a career-high 54. The Thunder beat the Jazz by 9. Pretty surprising that his career high is that low, but it's just his consistency as a scorer. He consistently gets like 30 points a game. It's not like he's overdoing it. He just gets in, gets out, does what he needs to win the game. Again, one of the better games we've seen out of Shai in his career. Obviously, it's not going to be looked at as that because they were playing the fucking Jazz, but the Jazz were making efforts. But yeah, this is his first career 50-point game again, surprisingly, but he was dominant this game. You could see it. It's not just the box score. You're watching this game, and he's just killing them. Like, some of the moves he pulls off, it's awesome. Shai's a very fun player to watch, come offense. Obviously, defensively, he's very underrated as well. Really fun game to watch here. Just smooth play, though, again, from SGA. Obviously, J-Dub was getting some tough shots for this team as well. It was just Shai. Who else should we really talk about? You look at the Jazz, actually a really good game for John Collins, 22 points, 12 rebounds. He shot 67% from three. You get 17 points, 15 rebounds for Walker Kessler, who shot 80%, 15 points, 10 assists for Keontae George, who shot 40% from three. Honestly, again, for the situation the Jazz are in, I think they played pretty good this game. They put up a good effort to win the game. Obviously, you'd expect a little more out of a guy like Kyle Filipowski off the bench, but that's a rookie. They're going to move forward with that. They're going to develop him. I have confidence that he will be a pretty decent player, at least a role player in the NBA. So there you have it with that. You look at the Thunder, you get a 25-point performance for J-Dub, who shot 33% from three, 50% overall. Shai put up 54 points off of 30% three-point shooting, so pretty decent stuff from him there, honestly. So there you go. That's really all they needed. J-Dub and Shai leading the force, obviously, without Chet. That's been a huge kind of thing for this team. Warriors, Kings. Again, I talk about Flight. I reference him on the channel all sorts of times, but dude, he's going to be fucking pissed about this when he finds this out. DeMar DeRozan scores 32 points in the Kings' 6-point comeback victory over the Warriors. The Warriors had it. It looked like they were kind of running away with this game, but it's awesome. Kings came back and won. Guys like DeMar DeRozan, guys like Domantas Sabonis just leading this team on the offensive end, and Domantas Sabonis grabbing boards as well, just doing what he's good at, being consistent. It's awesome to see. 18-point deficit at some point. They come back. They win the game. Great game for DeMar DeRozan once again. Yeah, Steph Curry had a crazy shot that didn't count, apparently, so we're going to see some glaze out of that. Just making big runs. Guys like De'Aaron Fox even helping the momentum get forward. And De'Aaron Fox has been a little quiet recently, but they've been winning some games. Keon Ellis hits huge threes. Obviously, Buddy Hield played his former team, and he was cooking a little bit. You look at things, 25 points for Andrew Wiggins. You get 14 points and 12 assists for Steph Curry. I don't really know. Gary GP2 could have played a little better. I don't really know what else they could have done. This is just a struggling team. Not sure why TJD doesn't start over Kevon Looney. You could even try guys like Moses Moody. You could try guys like Gui Santos. They have all sorts of guys that are kind of rising up in the ranks in this roster, but I don't know what was happening with Kevon Looney. Obviously, him getting injured plays a factor. It's not like he was a scoring option for this team, but him and GP2 could have played maybe slightly better. I don't even know. Looking at the Thursday games, we have my Celtics playing the Lakers on primetime in TNT, just kind of a back-to-back for us in LA. They're going to be tough, but it'll be a fun game nonetheless. The Heat are playing the Bucks. That'll be another game on TNT. That should be a fun one as well. Obviously, there's a suspension. It's fine, though. The Mavs play the Thunder. You get the Kings playing the Nuggets. Should be some really good basketball tonight, or tomorrow night. So, again, if there's any close games, you can tune in for the channel. You can count on me. I will get you guys a recap. Not every single night, obviously, because this weekend I'm going to go on a trip. But probably Sunday during the day we could do a video for those 2 days, and then Sunday night we could just do a separate stream just so the video's not crammed. I'll see what I can do. Again, I'm going to try to cover every close regular season game of the year. I'm not going to cover every single game because the videos will